Welcome back, everyone, or as Mia would say, Meowmastay. We are going to be taking a look at the workout from March 1st, so we've got squats and deadlifts. First thing I want to do is dedicate this video, this entire workout, to two awesome, amazing women who are at the gym. One being the main gym crush, and I'll talk about her later on, as well as another woman who I've been seeing lately, and we shared a nice little bench press connection the other day, and I'll talk about her later as well. But this is definitely dedicated to both of them. They inspired me, motivated me, and really gave me a big sense of confidence as well as focus. Now, I got to the gym and warmed up on the Stairclimber. I did that before and I liked it. So doing a Stairclimber before a lower body workout, I was a bit hesitant on that choice, but I did it and it actually worked out pretty well, no pun intended. And this time I thought, why not do it again? However, when I was about to get onto the Stairclimber, I had the bright idea of doubling the speed. My goal was just to get about the same amount of flights, so around 15 or 16, but just double the speed, get it done a little bit quicker, and just see how it goes. Well, it was definitely different, and honestly, it started to feel like full-out cardio. Mostly towards the end, but let me tell you, going from speed 5 to speed 10, huge difference. And I might do that if I'm short on time, because it only took me 2 minutes and 54 seconds to get through 15 flights. That's not a lot of time, and believe me, I was more than warm at that point. So I don't know if I'd be quick to doing that again, but I certainly could go to it if I am running late. And so I don't know, I think I'll just stick with my usual casual pace of the 5 speed and just do that. It does take 5 minutes and 15 seconds to do it that way, but I won't feel nearly as drained as I did doing it at a speed level of 10. But anywho, getting into squats, I did the same usual warm-up set of 5 with 135, and then a set of 4 with 185. From there, I decided to throw in a triple with 225 for no reason other than to close the gap between warm-up sets and working sets. And was it necessary? Probably not, but I decided to do it anyways. And then I went into the 10x4, which you're seeing right now, with 245. So keeping 90 seconds of rest in between sets. 245 was the weight I had used in the third cycle of training for the 10x3, so here we're just simply adding volume to it. Overall, I'm happy, I'm satisfied with these reps. The stoppage at the bottom will be in every single rep. For others, it'll be a little bit longer, and for some other reps, you'll see a full-out rest pause. Like that right there, that's a very good, solid pause at the bottom of the squat before coming back up. And I like to do that whenever I can, but I'm not too interested in doing too many reps, just because I'll do it when I think it's right and when I think I'm able to. So I'm picky. It's kind of random, if I'm being honest. I'm not programming them, but I'll put some in, especially if I'm having a good day or even just a decent day. I'll try to put in a somewhat of a rest pause at the bottom. Now, for an accessory, and I wanted to make sure I did accessory work this time around because last time I didn't, and I decided to go with a front squat, a barbell front squat with 135 for the 3x8. I could have gone heavier, but I decided my legs are getting a very, very good workout already between squats and deadlifts, so as an assistance movement, and especially just as a secondary mover, for the front squat, I just kept it light, just 3 sets of 8 with 135, and believe me, that was still a good weight to use. I know I can go a lot heavier, of course I can, but at that point, that was not a walk in the park. I got through it all, and technique was still intact, and I did put a pause at the bottom of the front squat reps, but my legs were already toast, so I'm alright with that. So I want to give a shout out to the main gym crush. Why? Because she continually amazes me and impresses me. She's always working very hard, and I really very much appreciate not only her exercise selections, but also her form and technique. She's always using great form, and I like the choices she makes for exercises. And it's funny because we traded a lot of glances back and forth throughout this entire workout. And I think there may be an actual connection there, but at the very least, I can honestly say that we motivate each other and push each other to be better and to stay focused and to stay determined, because we just find that we keep working out. If we're around each other, we just keep working out. And honestly, if she ever asked me to work out with her, I totally would. And I would follow whatever it is that she had planned for the day, because I trust that she not only has a good mindset for exercise selection and programming, but also I know that she's there to get work done. She's there to train. And I very much respect that, because that's why I am there. I'm there to get work done. I am there to keep training. And so I think there would be a nice mutual understanding of it. On top of the fact that she's incredibly attractive, but I really like how she works out. And not only that, but just for the simple fact that she does exercises very well, which you might be surprised is harder to find than you think. I see more often people not lifting very well than those who are actually using good, solid technique. And she does that. She absolutely does that all the time. But we have a really cool unspoken connection, and yeah, a lot of glances back and forth. In fact, I think another woman noticed that. She was in the middle and she kind of looked back and forth at both of us. But good times. Like that right there, everyone. Good solid rest pause at the bottom of the squat. That's what I'm talking about. Doesn't come out often, but when I can, I'll throw it in whenever I'm feeling good enough to rest that long in the bottom of a squat. Okay, now, deadlift, sumo deadlift. I did the same usual warm-up set of 5 with 225, and then a set of 4 with 275. Just like squats, I threw in an additional warm-up set, so I did a triple with 315, and now you're seeing the 10x4 with 340. So the same weight I used in the third cycle of training, except now just doing 40 working reps instead of 30. 90 seconds of rest in between for both main movers, so both squats and deadlifts. I rested 90 seconds in between sets, and it was a good deadlift day. A couple things to note on these deadlifts are, one, the controlled eccentric, so watch as I lower the bar. That is under full control. Now, you don't want to go so slow to the point where you risk injury, but when you control an eccentric on a deadlift, you can really start to feel out things like the bar path and also just the joints in the lower body working together. You can kind of get a sense of if you're leading with your hips or your knees or something like that, but going slower on an eccentric can teach you a lot about your own form. So if you don't have somebody who can watch you and help guide you or coach you, that's something you can do yourself. And using self-awareness, you can start to either improve or just check your form every so often to make sure that it's intact. Also, notice I'm not breaking the bar off the floor very quickly. That was done on purpose. That was definitely done on purpose for very similar reasons, just to make sure that everything was right, make sure that my technique was there, make sure that I wasn't leading with my hips, I wasn't shooting up with my hips, which typically isn't a problem, but I just wanted to make sure that it was there today. And so all in all, very easy deadlift reps, and purposely going a little bit slower, dialing down the speed, not focusing on performance in terms of breaking the bar off the floor and getting to the lockout as fast as possible, but rather taking it a little bit easy and just making sure I get through the reps and the sets and keeping good form. So that was really, honestly, the main goal. So all in all, also a good deadlift day. Now, for the accessory, I went with a sumo stiff-legged deadlift, which I had done before but went way too light on. So this time around, I did a warm-up set of 8 with 225, and then I did a 3x8 with 245. And while I certainly could have gone upwards of like 275 if I really wanted to push it, I didn't. And I did even slower eccentrics on the stiff-legged deadlift. One, to protect the lower back, because it's easy to get a little bit too anxious with an exercise like that, and you don't want to push it. You really, really don't, except maybe on a rare occasion. But I had just done a lot of lower body work. My lower back had already been fatigued a bit, not too much, but a bit, enough to the point where I wanted to stay a little bit conservative for the stiff-legged deadlift. But it felt good. It was still very manageable, and I still got a lot of good stimulation from the exercise. Now, the other woman who I shouted out earlier, someone who I have seen lately, and the other day we were bench pressing next to each other, and funny enough, we were kind of taking turns. She would do a set, I would do a set, she would do a set, I would do a set, and I think there was only one set where we were lifting simultaneously, but we definitely had a nice little connection, just kind of like a respect nod type of thing, you know what I mean? So she would glance over while I was benching, I would glance over while she was benching, and really, really beautiful woman. She was also there for this workout doing, funny enough, sumo deadlift, sumo stiff-legged deadlift, and it almost looked comparable, if not identical, to my workout. But she also did, I believe, hip thrusts and was doing great stuff. So I would work out with her also anytime she wanted. However, it gave me the bright idea. Again, I had a bright idea of doing a clean and split jerk single with 135, and my legs were like, "What are you doing? We're done. We're not doing this." So I only did one, and the recovery steps were were horrible. So I stopped there. But all in all, great workout. Awesome company, and there we go. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, and remember, adopt, don't shop.